Hey, can you hear me? Look, check it out. Ignite Her has launched. It is 2025. I'm just picking up clothes from one of my friends who had some extra clothes to help out the Ignite Her program. If you have any gently worn business attire, clothes for women who are out here doing the work but maybe do not have the clothing that they need to get the job done, we need your old clothes. Hit me up in my inbox or through House of Peach. The program is called Ignite Her, where we provide clothing to women who may be transitioning from one job to the next and maybe don't have the means to buy clothes. It could be going from working at McDonald's to now working in an office. So we're looking for gently worn business clothes. Make sure y'all hit us up, all right? Please hit us up. We need those clothes. And check right below there. If you're not in the state of Delaware, you can mail them to us. Or if you're in Delaware, we'll pick them up. Y'all have a great evening.
All right. I do this when I host conferences and workshops. I do that. All right. And I tell the group they're supposed to say, yeah. And if they don't say it right, we do it again until they get it right. Welcome, everybody. It is time for the Boss Ladies Lounge. House of Peach presents the Boss Ladies Lounge. Morgan and I are here. It is Monday. Monday has come around so quickly. It's like, oh yeah, it's time for our podcast. It's time for our discussion. So listen, we want you to share this out. Share it out. Comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm here in Panama City, Florida, which today was rather cool, and I'm not happy about that. It was like 60 something degrees. I'm not understanding, but I'm going to give it some time because the spring and summer are right around the corner. And I'm just looking forward to going to the beach this summer, a whole lot more than I did last summer. But I am April Anderson. I am one of the hosts of this amazing podcast, and I am happy to be on here. We want to empower, inspire, push you to destiny, whether that is in business, whether that's in your personal life, all together. So we come on every single Monday with some amazing topics. Every now and then we sprinkle in some guests, but Morgan and I seem to do very well. And we like to give you what you want, talk about the things that you want us to talk about, and then some things that we've experienced. So I know for me personally, I have no problem sharing certain things about my life if it's going to help somebody. And I've learned a few things along the way that I don't mind sharing. We're supposed to be helping one another, right? So we are here tonight, and Morgan is not even in her home. She is, where are you, Morgan?
I am in Texas.
She's in Texas. What is the weather like there today?
Well, let's see. At about 8 o'clock this morning, I felt like I was still in Delaware. So it was like 30 something degrees.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then it warmed up to a nice, probably like 67. So it's been kind of nice. But
Right.
apparently there's supposed to be some cold weather. So I told my clients, don't be mad at me. I promise I didn't bring the cold weather with me. But apparently that's what's going on down here too.
Yeah, you're going to get blamed for that. Everywhere I moved and lived, I always got blamed for the weather. Like, who, me? I didn't do this. So when I was in South Dakota and I think it was the first 2 winters there, the snowing was really mild.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, okay, this is because of you. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that year that I got ready to leave, this bottom fell out, and it was blizzard after blizzard, like mounds and mounds of snow. And I was like, is this what I'm getting ready to leave? I'm so happy. I do not want this. I cannot. So I don't care. I can handle any snow. So when we had that snow here, was that last month? Everybody
Yeah,
was wigging out. I'm like, what for? This is
it's
nothing
snow.
compared to what I've been in or what it could be. So we're not even going to worry about that.
All of that.
So how was your flight? How was the flight?
um, it was semi smooth. You know, there's always that one crying baby.
Oh,
But I was like, thankfully, it wasn't too long. It was more towards the end
uh-huh.
of the flight. So
Yeah.
I got a little cat nap in because it was an
Okay.
early morning flight. And, you know, after getting the kids situated and everything, took a
Hmm.
minute. So, yeah.
Right. Well, I have, when I travel, when I'm walking through airports, I have my earbuds in. When I get on the plane, I switch them out for my headphones. And when I tell you, like, volume all the way up, if I hear a crying baby before we take off, oh, yeah, this is going to be a turn the volume up day. And I turn the volume up, and they're like really good for blocking out outside sound. So then I just listen to music. I lay my head back, put my blanket on, and I'm out of there. And
Well,
everybody
I
else
actually
do
I
their
actually
thing.
went to sleep, but my I realized that my earbuds were actually not uh they weren't charged, although I thought that they were. I had charged everything but that. So I
Yeah.
was like, it's okay. I'm gonna just go to sleep. And I
Yeah.
woke up like right actually it wasn't the child didn't wake me up. I woke up from just
Mhm.
being in the same position and kind of just
They're not.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. I
And
don't care how much they recline. The recline is not enough. It's not enough.
no, it really isn't. For me, I mean, you know, now that we've met, I am short. But
Y'all,
short
like
people
literally tiny. All this time I'm thinking Morgan is tall and slim. And when I come out of the airport and she's standing there, I was like, oh my God, she is tiny but cute. But Kayla told me that. I'm like, nah, I just couldn't picture it because I
yeah,
just what I see makes me think tall, slim. And I was
yeah.
like, oh, but she's a little petite.
Yes, exactly. But us short people have problems in those chairs as well. And I'm like, gee whiz, I can't wait to get back to the chiropractor. I'm gonna need a whole like adjustment. Just stuff was feeling
Oh yeah.
extra stiff, like
Yeah.
legs actually hurting, you know what I mean? Sciatica. I was like, I ain't got time. Whew. So yeah, we gotta work on something, y'all. Work on
Yeah.
something.
Well,
But yeah.
today we have a great topic that Morgan and I are going to discuss about entrepreneurship and getting yourself together in the midst of it, especially if you've experienced trauma or your life is not where it wants to be, where you want it to be, but at the same time you want to start a business. Those are things that you have to deal with. And we kind of touched on this some when LaShawn was here a couple of weeks ago. And but you know, it's a real thing that needs to be discussed from, you know, all perspectives. And you and I both, we are both entrepreneurs, and we both have had issues in our lives that we've had to deal with and overcome, and still dealing with some things that come up and how that affects us. And I think this topic is really fitting because I'm actually dealing with some stuff right now, and it has one of my businesses not where I want it to be because of me dealing with some internal stuff that I have to deal with. So we're talking about building your business while dealing with yourself, while recognizing who you are, those flaws that you have that can affect what you're doing, and then overcoming that. Because even though we have these issues, we still can overcome them. There is a solution, but it's going to require work on our part. And I just look at it like jumping into the pool, just jumping straight in. You know, some people may want to ease into it, but as you're easing into it and the different levels of doing that, time is passing by, And if you're just easing into it, then when you get to the next year, to the next quarter or whatever, you've only made a little bit of progress that's not showing up in your business. So it's, for me, one of my businesses is with Envision You, and it requires us to call people to give them information about our products, our company, to see if they would like to purchase. And I'm going to show those at the end. And but you have to make the initial contact. Now, I have no problem talking to people at all. Like, I'll strike up a conversation with anyone. I just did that in the store with a lady, this weekend, and we just kept running into each other, and we just had a conversation. But actually picking up the phone and calling, especially those people that I haven't talked to in a while, it's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. But on the flip side of that, by me not doing that, then I am, and I have to look at it this way, because this just came to me. Not only am I doing myself a disservice, those people that can benefit from what I have to offer, I'm doing them a disservice as well. So I could have the products or the information that could get them out of debt, that could show them how to build wealth, that could show them how to get their health together naturally, not using any pills that you get from the doctor. And I'm not knocking the doctors, but we were made to self-heal. And there are, I mean, what did we do back 2,000 years ago? We got stuff off the land. Like,
Yeah,
that's
herbs
what we
are here
did.
for the service of man.
Right. So I'm doing myself and those potential people a disservice because I don't at least do that. It's important for us to come to grips with that, and I'm having to realize more and more, you got to get over you, whatever fear, whatever apprehension, whatever's stopping you. But there is a reason. There's something internally still that I deal with that's causing that block. So I have to now push through that, not just ease through it. I have to like break through that.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna just lay it on you because we're always very open and honest with each
We are.
other. But that fear of rejection is big.
Yes, absolutely.
And the reality is, what's the worst that can be said? No,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But the other flip side of that no is, like you said, you have to put it out there so
Mm-hmm.
that people know what it is that you're doing. But I'll give you this example. When I was working paparazzi as my main
Mm-hmm.
business, I had to call people, even if, sorry, I'm still, I have a lot of notifications. I'm not sure if that's coming through on
Not
y'all's
hearing
end.
a
Okay,
thing.
good. Okay, that works. So me, quote unquote, calling or hitting up people that I hadn't spoken to in a while.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, the issue is, again, people buy you, not necessarily the product.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to reestablish that relationship
Yeah.
before you go
Yeah.
in and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. But the other side of this no is sometimes it's no, as in no, not right now. So I
Yeah.
could be hitting you up going, hey, April, you want some earrings and I know you love this and da 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 da. I don't know what your
Right.
financial situation is. You might be like, nah, I literally just bought 12 pair off of Timu. So,
Mm-hmm.
let these turn green first. And then that might, you know what I mean? That
Right.
might be a conversation in
Yeah.
your head. You might not necessarily say that, but then again, you never know. Somebody might call you next week and say, hey, April, I'm about to get married. And can you, do X, Y, and Z? And now you calling me. Why? Because you know that I sell what it is that you
Right.
need.
Right.
So putting yourself still out there and letting people know specifically what it is that you're doing, what you
Mm-hmm.
got, your hands into, is key. And
Yeah.
even if it's a no, it might be a no, not right now. Even
Right.
if it is a finite no, that's fine because
Mhm.
every single no brings you closer to a yes.
Yeah. Have you
You
been in
know?
our Have you been on our Sunday trainings? Because you're saying the exact same stuff that we get taught and encouraged with every time. But you said the key word, rejection. I don't like to be rejected. That makes me, and it goes back to childhood. It does. That's a like trauma response because of rejection then. And so now it like brings up something. I have to understand that no, like you said, may not be no completely. It's no, not right now. But I
Mhm.
have had people to say, you know what? I will buy these products because it's you. I actually had a friend of mine inbox me and said that many people have been trying to get her to come with them and partner with them and all of this. And she said, if I partner with anybody, it's going to be you. I said, really? Because they, like you said, when you have a business, they're buying you. They're buying who you are. So I have to, and I 100%, I have to get over that fear of rejection and say, look, this is for those that I have a relationship with and I talk to, more frequently than others. It's easy for me to say, listen, I need you to check this stuff out. Let me tell you what it's done for me. I want you to try it out. And we got a promotion going on. But for those that I haven't talked to in a while, it's like, hey, how you doing? So I want to call and get back into the habit of talking to them, and then down the road say, hey, and especially if they ask, so what are you into lately? Like, what are you doing? I see you doing all this stuff. And then that's where I go into where
Exactly. There's your lead. Exactly.
yeah,
Absolutely. You
yeah.
also have here's the other tip. Your money is not with people you know.
Amen. Because I've been told, we have all in Envision You, we've been told that the people you think will support you won't. And the ones that you don't think will support you will be your greatest supporters. I
Yep.
found that to be 100% true.
Yeah.
100%. Not 90, not 95, 100%. So the people that I would call and I would think, oh yeah, they're going to try this out because I know they're going to love it. I know. I don't have any doubt about that. These products that we have are amazing on both sides. So I know that. However, the ones you think will won't, and the ones you don't think will, they will shock you like you will.
Yes. Yes. But I will also say too that those who do really rock with you, they are some of your greatest and your biggest fans. Like I
Mm,
have some folks like um I got a message today that was like, "Hey, I'm trying to throw a party and you came up as a reference as a caterer."
mm,
I have people who haven't used me for catering or
mm-hmm,
have been to things where I have catered like an event, so to speak. And based upon that, they will then refer me out.
mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, sure, absolutely. And because you came recommended by X, Y, and Z, I can give you the friends and family discount, which then turns around. And you know what I mean? Even if I choose, I was like, I don't have to do that. But sometimes I
Right.
do choose to do that because that one is a way, for me to do an extra thank you and
Mhm.
appreciation because you could have gone to the other 12, 15, 30 other caterers in the state,
Right.
but you decided to come specifically with me and you trusted based upon the recommendation that I would be able to provide you the service that you want. But then if I then come to the table and bring me, which is
Mm-hmm.
what folks are looking for. Now that opens it up to a whole bunch of people I really don't know. So
Yeah.
I do know this young lady who hit me up because she happens to be, my sister's sister. But at the same time, it was like she know a whole bunch of folk that I don't.
Yeah.
And so being able to say yes sometimes to certain things, sometimes being like, you know what, this may be my price for this service, but because of who you are and what you're doing, and I know it can potentially then grow in another way, then why not? You know what I
Right.
mean? So you've got a way in business, because not every offer is something that you should take.
Not all
Not
money
every
is
offer,
good
yeah,
money.
exactly. Not all money is good money.
Yeah.
And I don't recommend selling yourself short.
Right. I remember. So one of the businesses I have is a consulting business, and I built this program for this college in Jersey, and I realized through researching and more deep digging deeper into what I do and other consultants and what they and how it's done, like I severely undercut myself,
Mm,
and so I'm not willing to do that anymore. And I did that with a school in, I think they're in Houston. They wanted some courses built, seven of them, like from the ground up. Nothing was done, not even the syllabus. And so I went through, the hours it would take, all that I had to put into it to build this course and put it in the learning management system and do test banks and lectures and all of that and send a quote. And they were like, yeah, no. Oh, okay. Well, you know, what is it? You didn't tell me your budget, number one, but based on the number of hours I need to do for with seven courses, this is about what the going rate is going to be. And you may find someone more, that's going to charge you more, but I can't get caught up in that. But
yeah.
one thing that I know for sure when we're dealing with ourselves as we're building our businesses, and I learned this in one of the companies, is that professional development is vital. While you are building your business, you need to be doing professional and personal development. So I am really big on reading, and I will buy and download a book on my Kindle in a minute. The one book that I'm reading now, actually I have one more chapter and I'm done and move on, is The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And I
Hmm.
think this would tie into it because what we feed our subconscious mind then now manifests. And in the book, I think it's Joseph Murphy that wrote the book. He says in the book that your subconscious mind doesn't know right from wrong, good or bad. It just goes based on what you feed it. And so if you're feeding it negativity, it's not going to say, oh, no, that's not good. Don't do that. It's just going to continue to feed you and produce what you've been feeding it. And so having that personal development and that professional development, leadership skills, and how to be in business, how to run a business, but also how to deal with the stuff, your trauma, how to deal with rejection, how to, there's one book, oh God, I think it's my first year in network marketing. I started
Hmm.
reading, and in the book, it gives different stories and real stories of people who got into the network marketing industry and what happened, what was said to them by other people and how they felt and all of that. And you got to use your personal and professional development to build yourself so you can push through that. Otherwise, you will get so discouraged that you stop. And that could be the very thing that gives you everything that you want. But because you are just put down by the rejection or you have your own negative thinking, you don't do anything with it and you just let it sit.
Did you know that on a biological level, that's also true? In the
Mm,
sense that
right.
what it is that you say
Yes.
literally has an effect on your DNA.
Yeah.
So you can rewrite your DNA by changing the way that you think and the
Absolutely.
words that you say.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we know that life and death is in the power of the tongue. You
Right.
have what you say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's tons of sayings, Bible verses, all these things as far as
Yeah.
having you trying to draw attention to what it is that's coming out of your mouth, what it is that you're
Mhm.
you're thinking. But that's why it's important to one, surround yourself with the right kind of people, but then
Mhm.
two, um fortify yourself with the things that it is that you want. You know what I mean? Some people call it manifesting, some people call it, faith, speaking things that be not as though they are. Whatever appeals to you as far
Yeah.
as the naming of it, that is real. And
Yeah.
so I know, I've been calling certain things into, submission. I know I've been calling certain things out as far as my business, as in, like, this is where I want to be. This is where I know this can go. Where exactly, what am I supposed to be doing next? And having the spirit of, honestly, expectation at this point
That's good.
is
Yeah.
something that has allowed stuff to kind of just pop up that I might not see. Because here's the thing, when you start talking about certain things, that is literally all that you can see. Almost like
Mhm.
when you talk and then you go on Google to find something and then you start to type and it brings up the thing that you were talking about. And it's like,
Right.
how did they even know that I was having a conversation earlier with April? But yeah, that's exactly how your brain is and your
Mhm.
body is as well. And that's how things end up, then manifesting in the actual natural.
Yeah.
So if you don't want anything negative to be happening, make sure that you line your words up. And it's not, I don't want this, I don't want that. A friend of mine was telling me, actually, the universe turns that around. It doesn't hear don't. And
Yeah.
so you'll get exactly what it is that you don't want.
Right.
You need to speak it in there. I had a girlfriend who texted me the other day and she was just like, I'm broke. I was like, no. How about let's rephrase that? Say that my funds are on their way and
Mhm.
I am just sitting and waiting for them to be in abundance.
One thing
And
that
she
I
was
would
like, you know
say,
what? Yes.
one thing
Yes.
one thing that I would say in regards to that was my funds are not allocated for this at this time. So that means that I have it, but it's not for this. So that that is 100%, like, that's really good, because I have been way more intentional about the words that I speak, and I don't talk quickly anymore. And when I feel myself getting ready to say something and I think about what I'm going to say, I immediately stop, like, let me say this another way, because I don't want to put that negativity out there. So whatever, so as a man thinketh or speaketh, that's how they are.
Yeah.
And I refuse. There's multiple. If you guys have not read The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, I highly, highly suggest that you read it, because there are a number of accounts in there that he gives of people who have been diagnosed with illnesses, like serious stuff. And
Excuse me.
because of the declarations that they're speaking out of their mouth, that speak to their healing and to their health turning around, within a matter of days, there was nothing wrong with them. And so if you constantly feed yourself with that, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you constantly feed yourself with positivity, those things that you desire in your business, you got to feed yourself with that. So that personal and professional development, what are you reading? Who are you around? You talked about that too. Who are you fortifying yourself with? Are you going to be around those people that are going to constantly talk about what's not happening, and this is how it's always been, and if things aren't going to change? Well, if you speak like that, then of course it's not. If you don't
Exactly.
speak life into your business, if you don't speak life into your situation, I taught a Bible study. I think that was not last week, the week before. I taught a Bible study, and the title of it was "Speak to Your Situation." And I talked about it. I talked about it again Friday in the women's group on Facebook. Speak to your situation. God has given us the ability to speak to things and cause it to come into existence, but a lot of folks won't use that. And so your businesses are sitting dormant and not flourishing like you want them to, because you're not putting things out in the atmosphere of what you desire. And you got to be
Mhm.
real with that. I
Yeah.
make declarations, I have them up on my mirror that I recite, and I keep adding, like, my mirror is not going to be a mirror anymore when I'm done. But those things that I want, those things that are important to me, those things that I desire, I make declarations daily. One of the things that he said in this book, is for those that want wealth and success. He said you meditate on those two words. And he said you say them several times a day, just wealth, success. And let that sit down on the inside and think about what that really means and what it means to you. And what we in this when we get ready to go to bed at night, this is another thing that people don't do. You need a certain amount of time to detach and your brain to calm down. Like if you are, and I'm guilty of this, so I'm not talking about nobody else, but if you are watching TV until you fall asleep, whatever you watching on TV is going to influence what you dream about. But if you turn that TV off, so like with Ariel, she 30 minutes before she goes to bed, I make her put up all her electronics because I need your brain to have time to calm. So when I'm laying in the bed at night, before I drift off to sleep, I'm thinking and meditating on wealth, health, and success. Wealth, health, and success. And I'm getting a mental picture of what I want.
Right.
And then I drift on off to sleep. And in the middle of the night, while I'm sleeping or dreaming, I never know what I'm going to get in my dreams. I never know what strategy, what answers to question, what epiphany is going to take place while I am asleep because I've been meditating and focusing on the right thing. And one thing that Peach just said in our chat, she said, or just do it. Collect the things you need for your business. That's called, you having faith there. You're putting it together. So if you want to be a paparazzi, what are y'all, representative?
Mm-hmm.
Start buying some pieces, not for you personally, but build up. And I know you can do it with the company and they send you so much. But if you want to do it a different way, just start buying pieces and stocking up. And then when you get to where you can really join and get all of what you get, just start out small. But we got to do that. We have to say what we want. You have to change your mindset. Another book I have and I've been reading is called Mindset. Your mindset that's a big thing because it all is here. Think about it medically. When your brain shuts down or your brain is not functioning properly, those neurons are not firing off like they should be, then it affects everywhere. Because there's a thing called innervation, and I don't want to get too deep in medicine, but there's a thing called innervation. So nerves innervate every organ in your body to stimulate it to work. So if there's no nerve attached to it that's stimulating it, it's going to hinder it working. So if your mind is not working like it's supposed to, if you're not feeding it with those things that you need to grow your business, to help yourself professionally and personally, you're going to stay in the same rut that you're in, and it's going to be even more difficult to get out of it. Yeah. So for myself, I have said that I'm going to do way more reading. I have like books and books and books downloaded. I have books, like 2 boxes of books I need to put on the bookshelf that I don't want to put on the bookshelf, but I have to, because I want to constantly feed my mind. And especially with me dealing with this little rejection piece here, I need to do more personal development, because when we develop ourselves, you've said this so many times, and you said it tonight too, that people buy you. It's not their business, not your business, they buy you. So if you are constantly doing things, that personal development to build yourself up, they will see that, people will see that, and it will draw them to you like bees to honey. And you will have business contracts out the wazoo, and you won't have to worry about anything not going like it's supposed to, because you're feeding yourself, not only in the physical, but you're feeding your mind as well.
It's about perspective. As a child, no was like my favorite word.
Mm.
Not to say, but telling me no was an invitation for me to go harder.
Mm.
That didn't mean I couldn't get what I wanted. It meant that the person that I was asking wasn't the person to give me what it was that I needed. And if you take that in a healthy sense, because obviously you have to understand boundaries as well. So this doesn't
Mm-hmm.
apply to everything, but at least
Right.
in business, when it comes to that ask and getting the no, okay, sometimes you have to do that follow up. Oh my gosh. So one of my worst jobs ever, okay, was working for a specific institution, and they were asking me to cold call people for donations.
Oh, I've done that before too. Oh my God.
Can I tell
Oh,
you, like, people in call centers and who do customer service and all of that, that job, just like
kudos to
working in
them.
food industry, like, yeah, kudos to them. That job
Yeah.
is not for, it's not for the weak.
Yes.
And I can't tell you how many times I was cussed out. And the funny thing is that the rule of thumb, and you would get fired if you didn't do it, was you have to ask 3 times.
What? In the midst of them cussing you out? Yeah, fired.
Yes, there is an
No.
ask. So we're gonna role play real quick, right? So I'm gonna call you and be asking. So bring.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. And you?
Good. I can't complain. My name is Morgan Harvey, and I'm calling from Beyond Birthing. And I was wanting to know if you were
No.
interested.
No thanks.
That's quite all right. Are you? I was like, do you know what a doula is?
No, I don't care what a doula is.
That is quite all right if you don't care what a doula. Do you know somebody who is possibly pregnant right now?
No, I'm like 85. No.
I mean, ma'am, I'm sure that you have some grandparents. So you see how I just kept going? Like, you
Yeah.
could tell me no 50 million times, but like, you were gonna have to ask, get there some way, and then eventually it'd be like, okay, well, ma'am, I appreciate, your time. Have a nice day. Boom. Hit up the next person. Hi, how are you? And then you start all over again. Like, you've got no
Mhm.
choice. At this point in time, this is your job. This is what somebody's paying you to do,
Yeah.
regardless of how many yeses you get, regardless of how many no's you get. The point is that somebody's listening to you on the other end. You
And
gotta at
that's
least try and get that ask in 3 times before you click up. I
and
had somebody
they're
say, why
counting.
would I give to this institution when it's supposed to be, people from this state that are going to it, and there's more out of state students than in state students. Well, they caught me on the wrong day because I want to say that was probably like my last day that was there. But I was like, well, I mean, it's not our fault that out of state students are performing better than the in state students are.
I'm just don't kill me. I'm just a call center person.
Exactly. I'm
I
like,
don't know
listen, this
anything,
is my
any of the
job.
statistics.
I am exactly. I'm not in the registrar's office. I am not in charge of admission. I'm just
Right.
here to ask you, are you interested in making a donation to this institution? Like, that's about it. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So at this point, I also put myself in places. I think sometimes we don't position ourselves well. And so we set
Mhm.
ourselves up for a no.
Okay.
And
Elaborate.
so I say this, so, and I love the fact that you said professional development is key on top of personal development, because part of my job as a program manager is professional development. And
Mhm.
so, of course, I have these doulas that are in training and they're trying to figure out, okay, so how do I do this? How do I get clients? How do I do this? How do I do that? And I was like, listen, a lot of it is based on your personality. There's some
Mhm.
people who have, you have a different personality. So I'm not going to tell you to do something that is outside of your wheelhouse too much. Part
Right.
of being a business owner means you have to get uncomfortable and you have to do things that you wouldn't normally do. Like I said, I had never been live before I started selling paparazzi. That was uncomfortable. Talking to myself while looking at myself. If you can't do that, then don't
Yeah.
even worry about talking to people, because, like, obviously you got an issue right here with
So
yourself. Okay.
right. Looking at you, you have a problem looking at you.
Exactly. You got a problem looking at you and talking to you, then, like,
Right.
start there and then worry about everybody else, right? But it's about positioning. So, for me, it might be a hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
if I'm at Walmart, but I can say at least one time in a Walmart shop where, or a store run, there's gonna be somebody pregnant. I was in the airport today. I saw 4 pregnant bellies, and I can't tell you how much it kept me, like, I was trying to keep myself in the seat instead of walking up and being like, "Excuse me, miss, what are you gonna do with your placenta?" I don't care what she really said, and I really don't even care where she lived. Cause guess what? You can ship your placenta to me. You know
Right.
what I mean? So at this point in time, being out in the open, looking for certain things, position yourself in a place where whatever it is that you're trying to sell or the service that you have, put yourself in a place where that's where the need is initially. So if
Yeah.
you're a doula, why wouldn't you go to maternal fetal medicine? Why wouldn't
Mhm.
you go hang out in the women's part of the hospital? There's
Yeah.
tons of pregnant women coming through there. Take
Right.
your pick. I
Yeah.
guarantee you the majority of them don't have a doula.
Yeah. A lot of them probably still don't know who a doula is.
And that's real too, because
Yeah.
providers are out here suggesting doulas and they ain't doing their part and letting them know why you
Mm.
suggesting a specialty anyway. That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother show, another
Yeah, that's
soapbox
another,
to get on.
exactly. We gonna do that during Maternal Health Month of Black Birth Week. You know what I mean? But
Right.
yeah, but that is part of it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't necessarily want to be vocal.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's where I always say, you come and you wear those t-shirts. All you gotta do is wear something that's catchy. It's gonna be a conversation piece. It opens up for you to do something. You know what I mean? For someone to approach you and be like, "What's that mean?" Like I said, I have
Mhm.
that shirt that says "Got placenta" on it. That looks like "Got milk."
Yeah.
That right there is a game changer.
Wow.
I have zero problems. I have at least 4 people when I wear it on a
Mhm.
regular basis where somebody will call and be like, "Oh my goodness, you do placentas?" Yeah, so I don't have to look for them. With
Yeah.
paparazzi, they have a thing called the bling bag. They tell you just along with your pocketbook, or use the bling bag as your pocketbook. It's a see-through bag with all the jewelry in it. Put some real hot ticket items, the ones that most people like. You got to do pearls, you got to do hoops, you know what I mean? A necklace with some color, whatever. So now you standing there in the line, people just standing there waiting. What are they going to do? They're going to be looking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Staring. They looking in your cart. They looking at your outfit. They looking at your shoes. They looking at the person in front of them. All these things. Well, why not give them something to look at? And now they're going to be like, "Excuse me, can I see what that is?"
Yeah.
Boom. Now you have an in. You didn't even actually have to say anything.
Right.
So
So
then
we
that rejection isn't necessarily there, or,
Mhm.
so imminent.
Yeah. And so you're saying we need to carry ourselves in a certain way that will pique someone's interest to even have a conversation. Now, you're talking about traveling, and you're in Texas, and Thursday I'm going to New Orleans. And I talked about, I think it was on one of the Bible studies, about how I travel. Like, I don't travel like most people do. They have on sweats and slippers and all this kind of stuff. However, what I do, I dress up like a businesswoman for real. And so it draws attention. So as I'm walking through, and my cousin, she does this too, because she travels a lot like I do.
Mhm.
So, we're going through the airport like we are some high, important people. And how that draws people. And I've never had a problem with people coming up to me or saying anything. But when you carry yourself a
Yeah.
certain way, that gives them the opportunity. I was sitting on the plane, coming from, I don't know where I was going. I don't know where I was. But anyway, so I'm sitting in the middle of this man and this other lady, and he just strikes up a conversation, and he's like, "So what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I own a consulting business for surgical technology and something else that, I said." And he was like, "Really?" Well, he was one of the administrators for a college. This was in Texas, a college in the southern part of Texas. I don't remember what city it was in, but it was I think a 3-hour drive from San Antonio.
Hmm.
And he's like, "We don't have a surgical technology program, but that might be something that they're interested in." Boom. So I give him my website. And not only that, he helps with building websites and modifying websites. And I was looking to redo mine and all of that. And he said, well, give me your information. So I gave him my business card. Like they don't do that no more, but I gave him my card. When I got off the plane and we went our separate ways because he was going to South Carolina, that man texted me. Uh-oh.
Okay, you're back.
I'm like, I saw it freeze, but he texted me before I could get to my next gate. That man had already texted me and gone through my website because he wanted me to text him my website and gone through the
Mhm.
website and gave me pointers and stuff. I had a meeting with him where he remoted in and showed me stuff on my website. I was like, all for free. Like I didn't have to do anything for
Yes.
this. So your posture, how you carry yourself, what you have to do. Like I
Your
go in there like,
face. You can't
right.
be over here looking
But
like the world is on your shoulders. You mad at everybody.
and why do
And
we do that? It's mainly us. It's us. It's us melanated women. Us black. Okay, let me just say it. Us black women. I have never seen so. And you know what? I'm guilty as well. But mine was inherited because my dad is like that. He looks mean all the time. And one of my cousins told me because I was trying to figure out why no men were approaching me. And my cousin, because we worked together in the pharmacy, he said, "Cuz, I'm gonna tell you." You have the look on your face like you better not approach me. You better not say anything. He's like, they don't want to come say anything. So I really work on that when I'm out and about, having my face look nice and appealing. And, I'm not frowning or anything, but all of that. All of that. So Roz has asked, she says, sis, what do you do with placentas? She's curious. She does everything with placentas. She everything.
I
Oh.
do. I encapsulate them. I make tinctures, salves, um, keepsakes, art, um, sometimes even food. People have asked me to do tacos and lasagna.
Oh my God. Oh my
So,
God.
yeah.
But the thing is, the placentas are very, very nutritional. They have a lot of vitamins and minerals in it that work well for the mom postpartum. And
Yes.
I don't think I could have stomached it. Probably pills. I could have probably done that because you can't taste anything, but anything else
Yeah,
gets
I was
no.
like the tincture supposedly I haven't had anybody say that the tincture they tasted anything either, and it tends to be alcohol based, so the alcohol of their choice. And so they'll either take it, underneath their tongue, or they end
Yeah,
up will just put it in, some juice. So that's not necessarily something that they end up tasting. And for some um there's like some extra fortifying things in there. So there's no, I've had a couple of questions like, so when you burp, is there like an aftertaste kind of thing? And like, like you take a vitamin and
yeah,
then later on it gives you that like,
right, right.
yeah. And the answer is no to that too. So
Interesting.
yeah.
So Ross said, I got to quit slumming when I travel. I choose comfort. You can choose comfort, but still be fly with it. You can look
Yes.
really good. Like I'm already preparing what I'm taking and what I'm dressing on the plane with. Like, oh, I'm going looking like somebody's dignitary when I walk through. You're going to want to know who is that? You just come ask.
Yes. Yes.
And when
Yes.
people
Yes.
ask me, well, what do you do? I'm an entrepreneur, baby. That's who I am. And then I began to have a conversation. So, hey, that's how I am. But
That's how it was.
you're
Listen, that's how it was with the shuttle guy this morning. And he was just asking me, like, he ended up asking me a whole bunch of questions. And he was like, so you homeschool your kids? Yeah. And you're going out of town? Yeah. And you're about to take another trip. What do you do? Who do you work for? And I was like, myself. And he was like,
right.
really? He was like, tell me more. What exactly do you do? And he goes, well, wow, you're like living the life. And I said, yes. I said, I received that because, for me, I'm like, there's still much more for me to gain, a lot for
Mhm.
me to, a lot of room for me to grow.
Yeah.
Um, and I haven't reached, not to say that a goal, because, I feel like they're ever changing. Once you've hit this plateau, then there's something else for you to, strive for. But
Hmm.
I am intentionally creating the type of life and lifestyle that I want.
Right.
And a lot of my doula sisters and I, we laugh, because sometimes we'll be over here like, life is life in. I'm gonna have to put in an application for a job, and then we go ahead and we get this job, and we like,
No, won't, no.
I don't like the fact that they telling me I gotta work these hours, or somebody
Right.
is locking me in from this to that. Like, that don't even work with all the other things that I got put. Never mind, I'm just gonna quit this job, or never mind, I'm just not. That, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
There
real.
is, for what you want in your life, there is a business that you can put your all into that will give you that lifestyle, that
Yeah,
will provide you with the freedom to where nobody tells you what to do. And while you are asleep, money is cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. But we got to get over us. We have to get over ourselves, those things that hinder us, that hold us back. Work on that. Like, I constantly have to work on it. Otherwise, I would say, you know what, let me just go over here and like you said, get this other, go back into the operating room. No,
yeah,
because when I need to travel for things, and y'all know I do a lot, I don't want them telling me no. There's people already that have that weekend off. That no, so no, I'm not doing that. So
yeah,
I have to get over me and my insecurities and my fear and all of that to build my businesses like I want. So Peach asks, is there a such thing as entrepreneurial hair? I personally think so. Um, but I had somebody tell, like, I think you said this last week about your hair color and whatever works for you. Now, for me, I'll put some color, like the color you have in your hair now. I'll have that. Not all my hair, but my hair, like if I had it like this, it will be highlighted
mm-hmm,
with that. And that's my
mm-hmm,
next thing. I'm gonna have this hair, but it's gonna be highlighted with some gold, with some blonde. But for me, I don't go all out crazy because and that's a personal preference. Now, if that's something that's going
yeah,
to, you feel is going to draw someone to come talk to you and say, hey, how'd you get your hair like that? Or how long did it take to do your hair like that? That that's totally up to you. All right.
yeah.
So it just
I
depends.
do. I was like, actually, when we started this, or maybe halfway through, I actually had dyed my hair all of this color. Do you remember that?
Vaguely,
I was all blonde, like all blonde. That was the
vaguely
first time
remember
I
that.
had ever dyed my hair. I've
Hmm.
always been a highlight,
Yeah.
maybe some. And the funny thing is, and I can't say always been, because honestly, when I had done that, I when I locked my hair, which has now been next what, the beginning of April will be like 7 years. So it's been like 7 years since I've had my hair locked. I had only dyed my hair once
Hmm.
before that. And a lot of it had to do with, oh, damage, or, oh, you got to worry about what other people think. There were certain jobs that were like, no, you can't have X, Y, and Z colors, and the things that were associated with it. But once I got to a place where it was like, I'm my own boss, then I was like, who's going to tell me that this is inappropriate? And
Yeah.
so I kind of just tried it on for size and was like, let me see how I feel. And it's so funny because every single time I do it, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I hate this. And then it like grows on me and I'm like, oh, I love it. Like, you know what
But
I
you know
mean?
what? This is what I
So
think about the hair color or anything else for that matter. It's your personality, how you come in, how you present yourself. Because some people may say that that is a nice touch and it won't be so shocking to them because your personality, that's what draws them. And so that
yeah.
just adds to how great you are. Like, oh my God, she's absolutely awesome. Her hair, what does Pete say? Her hair is platinum blonde. So it's like, oh my God, her
Yes.
hair is
Oh my
platinum
gosh. Can I
blonde,
just
but
tell
she
you,
is bomb. Like, she
her
is
hair is
so,
bomb right now.
is it?
Yes.
Peach, I'm gonna need a picture. You need
Bomb.
to
Her hair
see
is
you.
bomb. And then So me and Smack and I were laughing at her because she's like, oh, now she's really like in the glasses gang with the rest of us. So now she got the frames that
Uh,
very nicely complements the hair as well.
yeah.
I mean, I saw this young lady right before I left. I went into the store to get a money order, and she couldn't have been more than like 19,
Mm-hmm.
and she had this beautiful, like the cutest fro,
Mm-hmm.
and right along this end, this edge, it was like a gradient pink. And I'm not sure if the intent was a gradient,
Mm-hmm.
but that's how it was. And then she had this little pink bow on the other side. And when she looked up, I was talking to her, whatnot. When I tell you, when her personality came out, for
Mm-hmm.
me, I was just like, I love her hair even more. Like it was something to like definitely like, ooh, statement piece, just like, some earrings that make somebody stop and be like, oh,
Yeah.
girl, I love those. You know what I mean? But like, her personality really brought that out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this for her. Like
Mm-hmm.
I felt like she was really expressing who she was
Mm-hmm.
outwardly. And
Yeah.
as someone who formerly also was into like fashion design, I literally had actually put together an entire men's line, children's line, whole nine. Yeah, so like yeah, that was like my first baby. uh
What don't you do? I don't
yeah.
need to ask what you do. What don't you do? Let's go down that list, because whatever you don't do, then that means everything else you do. I
Everything
never
else I
knew
do
that.
exactly. But yeah, I absolutely love that. And for me, I feel like what you wear is a statement of
Mm-hmm.
who you are, how you feel, what you want to tell people.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I don't want to be bothered, I will dress like I don't want to be bothered.
Roz, Roz
Okay.
said, she just said that. She said, normally I just don't want to be bothered, introvert.
See,
So she
there
just
you
said
go.
that.
There you go. Like today, I didn't dress like I didn't do my wow. Now here's the thing. For where I'm going, I will
Mm-hmm.
dress. If I know I'm going home, folks will be like, "Who the heck is that?"
Mm-hmm.
Because Delaware Morgan and New York Morgan, two
Mm-hmm.
completely different people. Because
Mm-hmm.
New York has a style that Delaware doesn't, and people will be in Delaware looking at like, "Where are you going? Who is you?" And for New York, this is an everyday type of thing. I saw
Yeah.
this wonderful lady that I follow, and she was like, "How I dressed before I moved to Paris."
Mm-hmm.
And so she had, all of these outfits and stuff like that. And then in Paris, her look was completely different.
Mm.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. And as, like I said, I'm about to turn 40 in a minute. I need a whole wardrobe overhaul. I have stuff in my wardrobe from 1996. Why? Because I'm the same size.
But that's the
It
style is not
fits.
the same.
The
Doesn't matter.
style doesn't. Yeah, the style doesn't
Yeah.
go out. I mean, shoot, Kendrick Lamar was wearing my jeans at the on the halftime
Everybody's
show.
trying to get those jeans.
I was like, go get them. How about like I could go get them right out my closet? I
Oh
turned around to my
my
son. I was like, you want to wear my jeans? I got like 3 pair in there.
god.
He was like, nah, mom, I'm good. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's a bit
But
far. I'm good.
yes,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, fashion is cyclical. There's no such thing as, um there's no new thing under the sun. You know what I
Right.
mean? New Balances. You wouldn't be caught dead wearing New Balances when
And
I
I
was a
still hate
kid.
them.
Now New Balances are almost just as much as Jordans are. I'm
Yes.
blown. Saucony. What? K
I,
Swiss trying to come back. What? I remember when I was paying $10, $15 for some kids. Now they have the audacity to be 75.
yeah.
What?
Yep. They're
When
circling
folks used to
around.
get teased for wearing these things.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
it all ends up coming back, you know what I mean? Sometimes in a
Mhm.
different form, sometimes a little bit bigger. Like Fila too. Like I thought that they fell off the planet. And now here they come back with the same shoes again.
And
And
people are
folks are
gonna
eating
buy
it
it.
up.
They are. They are. So,
So, yeah.
how you show up for your businesses, you can work on you and run your business at the same time. So Peacha put in our chat here, um, what is it? Score.org, a great resource for business owners. It says, she said, you can actually apply for a mentor And that's another key point that we need to discuss while we are working on ourselves and building our businesses. The importance of obtaining a mentor, someone who has reached the level that you are trying to obtain. If you are in the same or very similar industry, same market, you need, or even if you aren't, they have great success. They can show you how, what you have to do. You never know the struggles that business owners have had to go, especially those successful ones, that they've had to go through in order to get to where they are. The internal stuff, and we got to work on that. We got to work on the internal stuff. So get a
Yeah.
mentor. Go to,
Yeah.
I might have to go on score.org and apply for a mentor so I
Yeah.
can, get out of the stuff that is hindering me when I know I could be doing, more than I am. I'm not saying I'm doing bad. I'm not, but there's so much more to do.
Do you have a therapist?
I do. She's you remember El Rita? Well, she was like one of the first therapists that we had on. But anyway,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I
Yes,
do.
yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah, I have her, but I'm one of those people that like to go into the office. It's just so much more personable if I'm in the office face to face, because that's like my safe space and I can really let my hair down as opposed to being on Zoom. That's just kind of impersonal to me. But yeah, so I still have some things that I need to work on. And when I have a day where I break through that and really make, contact people and work on this and work on that, and I feel accomplished. And then the next day it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that today. It's like, come on, and build up momentum, y'all. With your, do not stop and go. Build up that momentum. Keep going. Keep striving. Doing what you need to do. Read, read, read. Like, one thing that we don't do enough of as a people is read. There are resources out there that you can utilize and take, just read them, apply it to your life. Like, I've applied so much to my life. Like, I'm really big on self-help books, and that's how I really started off, those things that would encourage me, uplift me, to make me realize who I am, and how important I am and what I carry and all of that, because my self-esteem was at zero. It was a negative. I want to say it was a negative percentage. And so I started reading those things that affirm me, that let me know, look, you are not what you went through. You are not that person. This is who you are. You have to look at this aspect and look at it from this way. And when you do that, then it starts to build you up. And therapy is an amazing thing. So I did all that with therapy and making sure that I got myself together, which is the now extroverted April that I am, that I was not years ago. I was like Roz. I would not say anything. I would be off in the cut. Somebody was telling me a couple of weeks ago about how I was in school. Like, you didn't say anything. You just had your certain people that you hung around. And even with them, I didn't say anything. That's just how I was. But oh, there came a day when I came out of that shell and people were like, what in the world is going on? This is the real April. This is the one. But my businesses, had I started them years ago like that, they would have suffered even more because I didn't deal with me. So it's an ongoing process. On Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Beach, so sweet. She said you both are awesome, and she knows that we both are going to achieve our dreams, and that we are, because we continue to push. We don't, one thing I know about you, so you said somebody telling you no meant I got to find the right yes. You're not the person to give it to me. I'm going to find the yes. I wish I need to develop that. I can't say I wish I had that. I need to develop that. So when
Yeah.
people say no, then I'm like, okay, I got to find a yes somewhere. And that
Yeah.
will push me, push me to
Absolutely.
do it.
Well, for me, I remember when I really decided that this was the path that I wanted. And I'm thankful to have some really dope friends. One of my best male friends, I've watched him over, I don't know, I guess we've been friends for like 20 something years. In that time, start businesses probably about like 6 times at least.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, it was always the same business because he's in a specific trade.
Okay.
But um, we were talking one day and he goes, I got a question for you. I was like, yeah. He's like, what's your plan B? And I was like, I don't have one. And he goes, you're now in the right place.
Mm. Oh wow.
I had plan B, plan C, plan D. If this don't work, then I'll do this. And this don't work, then I'll do this. At this point in time, I don't have a plan B.
So
So
this
this
has to work.
has to work
Yeah.
because you can't, there is no amount of tea in China
Mm-hmm.
that will get me to go and sign in for somebody else. Even my therapist asked me that recently. He was just like, what are your thoughts on, tradition going back to a traditional job for a minute? And I was like, no, that's not an option.
Yeah. So
And he was like, really? No, it really isn't. So now I have to troubleshoot
mm-hmm.
as to how this is gonna work because that's not an option. And that's not to say that I wouldn't take a job because my last job I was doing while I was still running my business. And I did that because it was almost like it was like on the job training. It was
Mm-hmm.
something that I didn't know. It was something that allowed me to continue to hone and sharpen my skills. And it put me in a space to know better what I'm also equipped to do. So that was a thing that allowed me to know that consulting and mentorship and professional development is something that I'm actually also good at. That
Mm-hmm.
it's not just, being that on the job trainer. Cause I've always taken jobs where, I get into a job, I learn it, and then like 3 to 6 months later, somebody is promoting me to teach other people how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I know that. But now, what else is out there?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing, like I said, even this program manager job was probably the most amazing gift from God because I'd be like, I'm qualified, but
Mm-hmm.
technically, yeah, I am. Not on paper, but just in who I am, the knowledge I have, and how I do things. And
Mm-hmm.
it is a blessing for people to see and appreciate what I'm bringing to the table that lets me know, okay, yeah, I've got something. So now, like you said, self-help book, how do I continue to grow in this? Because I know that
Right.
there's a ton I don't know.
Yeah.
So I sat down and I just took a 20-hour class. So I'll be waiting for my official certification, but I'll be a certified peer lactation counselor. I'm
Oh,
telling you, and that
congratulations.
thank you, thank you. In that 20-hour class, I learned more than I have in 5 other doula trainings and lactation education class,
Wow.
which is like, okay, so continuing education, consistently looking for what's next. I
Yeah.
had someone say to me, you're just always changing the goalpost. Well, yeah,
Yeah. There's
because
no
if it
limit.
stays there, like what good is it? Like it's not helping me if
Mm-hmm.
I don't have something else to strive for, because
Right.
eventually I'm going to get to the point where no matter what you do with the goalpost being in this position right here, I'm gonna score.
Yeah.
So now give me something else that ends up being a challenge
Right.
to sharpen that.
Mm-hmm. To
You know what I mean?
expand
Give
it,
me an
make it greater.
opponent. Give me
Yeah.
something that is going to, continuously get me to a place where now I can be considered the greatest. And that's not,
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? We're not looking for that recognition, but you
Right.
do want to be great in what you're doing. You do want to be at the top of the line. And that's what then reels in people, because not only is it who you are, but now it's the reputation that is following you
Right.
that
I have a,
speaks volumes, and then that's what draws in even more people that you didn't even know, the folks
right.
that was looking at you talking about, oh, your little business, be the ones
Oh
knocking on
my
the
God.
door.
Right. I hate when people say that. You doing that little thing? It's not a little thing. It's not. It's a big thing. It's big. I want to ask you a question. So they ask you, what is your plan B? And you said, I don't have a plan B. Do you find that when you said that and you heard that it drove you more to do more? to go further, to go harder, knowing that, oh snap, I don't have a plan B. I probably need to go harder in what I'm doing. Did I?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, you, as an entrepreneur, if you don't work, you literally don't eat.
Yeah.
It's
Those
not
facts.
like an average job where you can get away with doing subpar or the bare minimum and you still gonna collect a
Yeah.
paycheck. It doesn't work like that. And most people don't understand too that, like a job, you don't have to go and search for those clients. You don't have to go and search for a lot of those things. As an entrepreneur, you got to do it all,
Yeah.
because don't nobody have somebody doing that client acquisition for you until you've arrived.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you still got to put the footwork in for yourself first
Right.
to get there. So for me, it's like, okay, well, if I don't, again, shout out to to the team of paparazzi. Paparazzi really gave me a very good basis for understanding business and
Hmm.
how to go about drumming it up.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was a good tool for me. I could have done it differently, but it was a good tool for me to now understand how to do things now. And so, no, it's like I wake up, and if I don't get on Facebook and look up business, if I don't post some things that says, here, this is what I'm doing, as much as I hate doing that, like, again, we were talking about earlier, like, if you don't put
Hmm.
yourself out there, how are people supposed to know what it is
Exactly.
that you're
That's
doing?
true.
But I'm also okay with people not knowing what I'm doing, because again, I don't have a problem with client acquisition. I'm out hitting these streets, pounding this pavement,
Hmm.
wearing these shirts, walking into places, you know what I mean? Asking people really weird, awkward questions that start having them either laugh or, changing their mood or whatever. And then that gives me a leeway into this. And it's okay. If it's not
Yeah.
now, it's later.
Right.
Sometimes it is me just giving them that brighten of a day that will then turn around and say, you know what? I do have somebody though that is pregnant, and I think that I think that you guys would be an awesome meet. Can I have your information so I can share it with them?
Hmm. Yeah.
I think I told you one day I was out looking for my boys, because they were out playing, and I drove past social services, and there was a lady that was coming out, and she looked like she was ready to have this baby like any minute. And so I rolled down, her husband had put her in the car, and he was, walking around to his side of the car, and I said, "Excuse me, sir," and he stopped, and I was like, do you guys have a doula?" When I tell you, she read my lips through the car window.
Really?
She jumped out the car. She was like, "Did you say that you're a doula? Oh my gosh, I've been looking for one." And get out of whole 9 yards. Waddled all the way over to the car to take my information. So yeah, like you said, no, we might not do business cards, but I do have virtual business cards. Go to Hi Hello, it's free, at least on the basic part of it.
Uh-huh.
This way you always have one. I'm somebody who always forgets. It's in the car, it's in this pocketbook, it's in the other book bag, it's sitting on the kitchen table. Like,
Right.
that doesn't do us any justice. And Damon Dash actually had given me this tidbit one time. If you're going to do business cards, make them worth someone keeping.
Mm. That means you have to
So
invest some money in them.
No, not even, because I did a standard business card for my catering business and I turned it into like a punch system. So you've
Hmm.
got 10 caterings before you get a certain percentage off. And there
Oh,
are
okay.
people who, I don't care what the catering is. You might just call and hit me and say, "Hey, I need, tacos for two for the night." That's a
Mhm.
catering. "Hey, I need you to make me some guacamole and a couple of your sauces." That's a catering.
Okay.
And
That's
so then they keep the card, and then they always have my information. Whereas for some, I can tell you, I can't tell you how many business cards I have of people, and I keep them because I always be like, "Oh, I got somebody for that," and I really do have like a Rolodex of cards.
oh my God. You
But
do?
yeah,
Wow.
I do. My girlfriend calls me the plug. She was like, everybody, you have somebody for everyone.
Yeah, you do. You meet people all the time. All the
Yeah, yeah.
time.
Well, you gotta have, again, that pleasant look on your face.
Yes. Tea.
Exactly. Be
I'm working
inviting.
on it. I'm working on it. Yo,
Be
it's
inviting.
actually been working for me. And I got the. I don't know, as I'm thinking about like what am I going to wear on the plane. So I have this sweatshirt that I bought, and I have not worn the sweatshirt yet. And the sweatshirt says, I keep surgeons from killing you. Like that right there is gonna be, wait a minute, what? And so then I could go into my consulting business with that. But the only thing is, if I wear a sweatshirt, like how am I gonna make it fly like I normally do?
Okay, so you make it fly like you normally do. You have a statement necklace, right?
Mm,
Some
okay.
earrings that don't necessarily either statement necklace or earrings, but I say necklace because then
Uh-huh.
that is going to still draw more attention to what's going on to with the shirt, but
Uh-huh.
not necessarily take away from it. Then
Okay.
you can have on a pair of jeans and some heels. Girl, that's fly.
Hmm.
Throw a hat
Okay.
on with it. Like
Nothing.
that's fly.
Okay. All right. I'm learning how to branch out, and I love Pinterest because you can look up all kinds of things and put together with that. So, but yeah. But y'all
Absolutely. Yeah, I
listen.
used to have a shirt that said keep your EMT, your local EMTs in business run with scissors. I
Oh,
just did
shoot.
something like that, yeah, because that was it. I was an
Oh,
EMT
wow.
for my first time, and that's yeah. I used to love that. I mean, y'all, whatever floats your boat.
Ron said you
I
don't
want
need
one of
fly with
those.
that statement. I know, right? I keep surgeons from killing you. And that's one of the reasons why I bought it. I'm like, oh, this here. So I
I
may have
love
to wear
that.
that.
I love that. Oh my gosh! So when we do our course, I'm gonna need you to wear that shirt.
Oh, most definitely. I will do that.
That's
I'm
great. I'm
like,
gonna wear a doula shirt, and you wear that one.
yeah. All right, folks, listen, we have actually been on here our time, and we hope that you have enjoyed today talking about managing yourself while you grow your business, and dealing with those issues that you have. This has actually been therapeutic for me, but personal, professional development, coming to terms with where you are and dealing with that, and knowing that people buy you, they are buying you. So let your personality shine through that. So with that being said, I got something here I want to, before I leave up out of here, this is my little plug, and it ain't shameless because I'm going to say it. All right.
That's right.
We've
That's
talked about
right.
paparazzi, and I am not a paparazzi person. I buy it, I don't sell it.
Yep.
However, my company has some amazing health, these all natural liquid proprietary juice that helps you with energy, clarity, focus, digestion, hormone balance, you name it. This one here is our liquid gold. This is our liquid collagen. That's for your bones, your joints, your hair, your nails. It rejuvenates your cells. This stuff tastes like orange citrus. It's really good. And then we have our apple beets cherry and our apple cinnamon. These two do the same thing. It's like whatever you like. I drink them both. But we have a promotion going on where you get all three of these bottles for $100. $100 for this. That would cost you well over $300 here. So if you are looking to change your health, you have high blood pressure, you're diabetic, you have digestion issues. I'm not making no medical claims, but what I do know is I have some friends who were diabetic. They were taking insulin, and they have been on this faithfully. And their insulin level, they have come down to where they don't need to take insulin shots no more, and they've lost weight. So you need to contact me. We also have the wealth side of it where they teach you about doing Airbnb, Turo. There's a Metaverse Academy where we teach you how to trade in Forex and crypto. All of that. People are doing well with that. So y'all need to hit me up. I'm not saying I've been taking these products for 2 years and I will not go a day. Like I was waiting on my shipment, and it was some days that I didn't have that alive in my system. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot. And I'm looking in the mailbox. Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? And it finally came. And I'm not addicted to it. This is non-addicting, but it helps you. And it's not like taking those 5-hour energy drinks, because those are bad for you. They will explode your heart. I just want you to know that, because all that caffeine that's in that sugar that's in there. This is not that. This is not that. All natural. Every ingredient in here, you can go to the Whole Food store and find it, but you can't put the right mixture together. But I got it for you in a bottle. 3 bottles for $100. Come on now, you can't beat that. I get it all the time. So hit me up and I can tell you more. If you want more, then just hit me up. I can do that. If you need a doula, you know somebody need a doula. This woman right here, even though she's based in Delaware, will fly anywhere. Where is she now? In Texas for a birth. So if you know someone that's expecting, they need a doula. They need one. Absolutely 100% need one. All right. So we're going to get out of here. We'll be back here on Monday at the same time. We want you to share this out. We want you to let people know. Please set y'all alarms. If we got to set our alarm to come on our own podcast, we want you to set your alarm to support us. Y'all say y'all love us. Oh my God, we've missed you so much. Y'all do so well together. When are y'all coming back? And we back. And where y'all at? Where you at? Where you at?
Exactly.
And we need more.
We're back.
We're back and we want to help you. So, even too, if you have topics that you want us to discuss or questions that you have, send it to either Morgan's inbox or mine, or put it in House of Peach inbox, and we'll make a whole show about it. The last Monday in this month is our He Said, She Said, and we already have an amazing man that's going to be on with us, and we're going to have a topic, and we're going to have the male and female perspective. So you guys don't think that this is just for women. It's not. We got men coming on the show too, and they will come in, they will give their perspective, they'll comment even if they're not in the show. So this is what we do. We want to empower you, inspire you, motivate, push you to the next level, not only in entrepreneurship, but in your personal life as well. So if you don't read, I'm going to need you to start reading some books. I think y'all need to start with The Power of the Subconscious Mind. That's just my personal opinion, because that book is on it. So if you haven't read it, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, Joseph Murphy is his name, and you will not regret it. It's a quick read. It's like 12 chapters, but it's so good. All right. So.
And for those of you who have a lot going on and you're like, I wish I could find a couple of minutes to read on a regular, I do want to throw out there that there is an app called Head Start. And it has a lot of those self-help books. It has a lot of other books that are up there. Mm-hmm. And it really breaks it down to like all of the key elements in the book in a shorter amount of time. So it's like you get all the juicy nuggets in like a 5 to 7, sometimes 12-minute window. So that's what I was like, that's what I've been doing sometimes, where it's like, okay, you know what? I got to get dinner on the stove. I don't have time to read today. You know what I mean? But I really do need to get some info on this. Boom, hit Head Start, and I listen. And it's very comprehensive. So it's not just like bullet 1, bullet 2. Like it actually goes into things so that you feel like you've actually read the book in just, like I said, a shorter amount of time.
And Audible as well. Audible, you can always listen to the book. I don't like that because I need something tangible, because I highlight, I make notes and all of that, because I like to go back to the main points in each section or each chapter. So however you do it, just do it. Just help yourself, especially if you have started a business and you want it to grow and flourish, which I speak that into your life, that your businesses will grow and flourish, and that you will overcome whatever obstacle that's keeping you from doing that, and you will push you. I declare a wind at your back to push you and your business to the next dimension, not level, but dimension. So do the work. I got to do the work on me. Morgan has to do the work on her. So we're going to do the work, and we're going to go to the top together.
Exactly. I'm rooting for you.
Right. We are definitely rooting for you. Until next Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to say goodbye. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. I'm going to be in New Orleans Thursday to Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that and networking and doing some more stuff. I am going to declare there's going to be great things happening, and I have be able to talk about it when I come back on Monday. Yay! Yes, all right, y'all. See y'all next week.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Hey, can you hear me? Look, check it out. Ignite Her has launched. It is 2025. I'm just picking up clothes from one of my friends who had some extra clothes to help out the Ignite Her program. If you have any gently worn business attire, clothes for women who are out here doing the work but maybe do not have the clothing that they need to get the job done, we need your old clothes. Hit me up in my inbox or through House of Peach. The program is called Ignite Her, where we provide clothing to women who may be transitioning from one job to the next and maybe don't have the means to buy clothes. It could be going from working at McDonald's to now working in an office. So we're looking for gently worn business clothes. Make sure y'all hit us up, all right? Please hit us